It's time for your weekly dose of politics,
Snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfucker.
for your hosts, Brandon
And Matt.
Hide the rum.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Well, I think I'm live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the machine. I am Brandon. Matt is not here today. He had something else he had to do. So you're stuck with me all by my lonesome. But apparently I decided to start the show with a wonderful systems glitch. For some reason that does happen. Our main hosting program decided to suddenly change my settings for my microphone and my speakers, so I couldn't hear anything out of my headset, and you weren't hearing shit. So sorry about that. It's bound to happen once in a great while. You know, computers are wonderful. Well, when they work. And I can't tell you how much I miss that. Oof. After 2 weeks and not being able to have a single sip of my lovely whiskey, I finally have managed to take a little bit in, you know. And I don't think I got everybody back. I see there's several people popping up on certain platforms, but I'm missing a couple people. I'm wondering if the other one figured it out yet. Oh, it's going to be a good night. Yes. Oh, things are wonderful. All right, so, you know, well, hey, how's it going over there? Haven't seen you for a while, you know, because you don't call, you don't write, you don't stop by no more. Just right in the fields, man. But anyhow, hey, how you doing? So a lot of interesting things obviously are happening. I mean, is it ever boring anymore? Really, is it? But I had something I wanted to bring up, cause you know, all the talk that we have to do about racial issues and everything else like that, you know, stuff that we really don't want to talk about, but we kind of have to, because it seems to be the thing to do. You know, they want to make anything and everything completely racist. Well, it's amazing because I have now been hit by the other side. I mean, I've been called everything but my name, and I've been called racist and everything else like that, you know, by the left for years, and I just laugh at me because they're a bunch of morons. They don't know what racism actually is, so therefore they'll label anything and everything racist. But this time I came across one head of cabbage who claims to be on the right-hand side of things, and he fired back and called me a race traitor. So my response was, okay, which side do I get to pick? I mean, do I get to pick a side? I mean, is there a side? Because I really don't have a side. But, you know, I wonder that because now I'm called a racist by one side and a racist by the other, and or a race traitor. I'm like, that's interesting. I kind of wish I knew where I could go with that. Oh, amazing times, though. Amazing times. I think I did lose Sean since I had to do the Spreaker restart. You guys are hearing me all right, though, right? Everything's running. I don't have to mess with anything. I'll wait. You know, there's only a shit ton of you everywhere. I'm looking at the numbers. Yeah, I'll wait for somebody to say that things are working. I mean, I'm pretty sure I killed off my buddy over there. At least one of them on one of the on the Spreaker platform, on our hosting platform. But anyhow, I guess I'm just going to keep on going instead of waiting because I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Nobody's saying if they can or can't. I did answer you. You said hello up there, and I said, hey, you never call, you never write, you never come by, right in the fields. Yeah, I said that, cock. And then you got, Captain Wise Ass up there. And yeah, that's about all I have left is one. So yeah, that'd be Snaggletooth. Thank you very much. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. Well, NYC has always been kind of a shithole, and always probably will be. It's like the California of the East, and anyhow, the NYC veterans are vowing to sue the city because they are being told that the Memorial Day parade will be barred. But yet, Black Lives Matter protests and cannabis events were permitted. Anyhow, the article states a veterans group is threatening to sue New York City if they are not permitted to hold its annual Memorial Day parade. The United Staten Island Veterans Organization was denied a permit for the parade, and the group is highlighting a double standard. American military service members are barred from marching in a patriotic parade, yet Black Lives Matter protesters were not only allowed but encouraged to hold protests throughout the city for the last year. Why? Because racism sells. The fact that you served your country is irrelevant to them at this point. They just don't care. And I got to turn this light down because I'm like lit up like a Christmas tree here. It's driving me nuts. Anyhow, this year's Memorial Day Parade will be the 102nd running of the Distinguished Procession to celebrate American service members. This year's parade was specifically going to honor Gulf War veterans since it's the conflict's 30th anniversary. The United Staten Island Veterans Organization, an association of 16 local veterans groups that has sponsored the annual event for decades, filed a request for a parade permit, and the New York Police Department on February 27th. The Vets Group estimated that approximately 1,000 participants would march down Forest Avenue from Hart Boulevard to Greenleaf Avenue, which I don't know where the fuck that is because I don't live in New York, but, we're going to go with what they said. The Memorial Day Parade was denied because of Democratic New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio's executive order signed last year restricting public events due to the COVID-19 pandemic. No, it's not catching up to you. You're catching up to me, actually. It's the opposite way around. See, I'm talking and then you're waiting. There is kind of a delay. Just letting you know it does work that way. And I don't think Sean's coming back. I think I heard him. De Blasio even participated with a group that did not practice social distancing when they painted Black Lives Matter on a Manhattan street. Oh, lovely. But everybody knows that de Blasio is a walking jackass to begin with. In fact, pretty much the whole of New York is. Not jackasses, but I mean shithole. It really is. Even to people that I know that live there, they do not like it and they wish to get out, but, it's expensive. Let's see here. Last July, the far left de Blasio argued that Black Lives Matter rallies were permitted while other events were not. This is a historic moment of change. We have to respect that, but we also have to say people to the kinds of people. Fuck me, I can't read. We have to respect that, but also say to people that the kinds of gatherings that we're used to the parades, the fairs, we just can't have that while we're focusing on health. So we can have Black Lives Matter running a fucking muck through New York, but we can't have a veterans organization who's not running amok. That's what he's saying. Nobody else is important. It's just them. And of course, the fucking stoners. I have no issue with people smoking weed. I really don't. I'd rather you do that than some other things. I don't really see that much of an issue with it. I just don't want to fucking smell it all the time. I'm not really into that. So, be courteous with it. But if you want to be blazed out of your mind, eat a bag of Cheetos, that's your fucking problem. It's not mine. But what we're talking about here is just as the veterans event being shut down, but the marijuana event was not only allowed by New York City, but also had high-ranking government officials in attendance, including Chucky Schumer and Attorney General Letitia James. But the veterans, not allowed. Not going to happen. How do I know if you're on Spreaker, fool? You're not saying nothing on it. See, that's how I know if somebody's on there, because they actually say something on there, so I know what's going on. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I know where I stand. You don't want to get in the way of the fucking veterans, because I hate to tell you this, Mr. De Blasio, and I can't even, I don't even like putting, Mr. in front of your shit. You're going to piss off the wrong fucking group. You're going to piss off the wrong group. You think it's just 1,000 NYC veterans, that you're shutting down. Wait till the surrounding states decide to send their veterans in. Oh, they'll have that parade, whether you want it or not. And the fact that you would allow fringe groups to do whatever the fuck they want, but not people who fought for this country and who are honoring the people who, paid the ultimate price for your freedom, is beyond a dick move. And to be honest with you, I think somebody should slap the taste out of your fucking mouth. But, I'm not saying somebody go do something bad to an official. No, I'm saying somebody should. I'm not saying somebody should actually do it like I'm telling you to go do it. I'm telling you it's probably been a while since you've gotten shit slapped out of you. And this is one of those shit slapping out of you scenarios. Don't worry, I'll wait for somebody to turn me in for, inciting violence. Yeah. What do you think BLM's doing when they're walking down the street in New York? It's just that thing. Most veterans don't support what? Ooh, that was a strong one. You can tell it's the end of that bottle. Wow. Yes. Okay. But I seriously, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are about this, because they're allowing permits for everything else, minus anything that would be, I don't know, patriotic or not left-leaning, progressive left-leaning, like funding a terrorist organization walking down the center of the street. I just wonder how you feel about it, because I know how I feel about it. What's with the question mark? Okay, I got to keep up with you here. Okay, things ain't working right here. But speaking of selective outrage and everything else like that, I'm just going to keep on going here. Apparently, outrage has erupted because Tim Tebow, the guy that was basically shunned for having religious beliefs and praying before he went on the field, is making an NFL return. And, of course, the critics now allege racism because Colin Kaepernick was not signed. Here's the thing. Colin Kaepernick was actually a shitty quarterback. And he became a shitty human being after being a shitty quarterback already. He was not, do you not see the hypocrisy in this? They want to shun Tim Tebow for, I just believing in God and praying to his God before he does his thing on the field, versus Colin Kaepernick. Do I really have to explain that? Let's see here. Anyhow, it says Tim Tebow's likely return to the NFL has ignited a new controversy after angry fans voiced frustration that Tebow is receiving another shot in the big leagues while Colin Kaepernick remains sidelined. Again, I have to explain to you that he was actually not a very good player at all, and the fact that he made it to the NFL was a miracle. Multiple reports indicated that Tebow is expected to sign a one-year contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars in the coming days. Tebow, a former NFL quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner, will play the tight end position. That's kind of interesting, but the man played baseball too. He's, all-around player, I guess. Tebow will also reunite with Coach Urban Meyer. The pair won 2 college football national championships while at Florida in 2006 and 2008. Yeah, it's been a while, dude. Let's see here. We already know that he was a quarterback and everything else like that. I don't need that. Anyhow, fans already angry that Kaepernick has gone many seasons unsigned. We're predictably angry that Tebow will earn yet another NFL contract despite having not played in the league since 2012. Among the reaction, including claims that Tebow was able to secure a contract because he is white, of course, because, the privileges. And Kaepernick cannot because he's black. No, because nobody wants to deal with Kaepernick's bullshit, and he was a shitty player. Okay, I'll see you in 2 weeks. All right. Okay. Cool. You're sidelining me with, comments that I don't know what are for. But anyhow, of course, Tim Tebow finding a team and Colin Kaepernick can't. White privilege NFL style. Tebow can't throw. Never could. Never played tight end and hasn't played in 8 years. Actually, his throwing ability was about 4 times better than Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick was really good at throwing interceptions and or just missing completely. Tebow really was not. But he's also an all-around athlete. And Kaepernick, like I said, they don't want to deal with Kaepernick's bullshit. Kaepernick brings to the table stuff that nobody wants to deal with. And remember the difference between why the two were shunned in the first place. I'll just keep repeating that. Let's see. Yeah, it's just a bunch of people saying the same line over and over again. Yeah, don't need to see any more of that. Actually, I'm done with that. Oh, this is going to be a good show. Like watching paint dry sometimes. Son of a bitch. I don't mind. Hey, not every show can be made of gold. And I picked the first two kind of in haste. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break here so we can so I can retriangulate, get my head on straight here. Hey, it does happen. Live radio, gotta love it. I'll be right back.
sir? I'm not one of my vassals. Who are you?
I am the machine.
What? I'm the machine! Okay!
You are listening to The Machine Radio Show.
Not your daddy's conservative talk radio.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
I'm the machine! Fuck that bitch. This is Fuck yeah! Tonight you party with us, yes?
Okay! Yeah! Yeah! Ah, skate!
And I'm back, and hopefully triangulated, cleared out, all that good stuff. Sometimes, live radio is just, it's live radio. Doesn't always go as planned. Anyhow, everybody knows what's going on in Israel, right? I mean, if you don't, then you probably watch CNN because they're not really reporting much of it. But Israel has been under attack. Even the Iron Dome, which is probably the most impressive system to stop missiles ever, has been unable to stop everything coming in, and people are getting killed. And it's not a coincidence. It's really not, because, we apparently like to do things here where we pay terrorists to do things to us or our allies, our only allies. It can't be coincidental that this is all happening about a little over a month now since Biden decided to restore $235 million aid to Palestinians, which was shut off because they were using it to fucking attack Israel. Okay? That's why it was shut off in the first place, because you don't fund your damn enemies. You don't fund enemies that are trying to kill your people or your allies. That's usually in poor taste, but apparently that's what we do now. And that's not the only thing we've funded this week, in the last month or so. So we'll get to that later. But the rockets and shit are just raining down, and now Israel's finally said, "Screw it, we're fighting back," and they're bombing the piss out of Hamas. The thing that some of the heads of cabbage here don't understand is Israel knows where Hamas is. And you can only be pushed so many times before you have to push back. It's not coincidental that what they like to do is park their rocket launchers and stuff like that near schools and major population centers, because they know the Israelis are too kind-hearted to fire on them. Yeah, I know, Sean. It's really weird. They're messaging me through another system now because they said it was going through, but I was never responding. But I'm not seeing anything, and apparently neither are you. But this is, it's gotten way out of hand, and now you got, of course, one of the squad. One of the worst things that's ever happened to this country in the political sector is these squad, what they call themselves, the squad members. They're the biggest heads of cabbage on earth. And Ilhan Omar is basically acting like the press secretary for Hamas. I mean, in one of her tweets, she literally says, "Israeli airstrikes killing civilians in Gaza is an act of terrorism. Palestinians deserve protection. Unlike Israel's missile defense programs, such as Iron Dome, don't exist in Palestine to protect Palestinian civilians. It's unconscionable to not condemn these attacks on the week of Eid." Well, here's the whole thing, you head of cabbage. They fired first. Israel has a right to protect themselves. The Palestinians decided, since they got $235 million, they're going to give it to Hamas, where they can buy rockets and start firing on Israel yet again. Anytime we give them money, they chant death to America and death to Israel and start firing fucking rockets. This is not, rocket science, okay? Apparently it is for you because you don't get it. But Omar was responding to claims by Palestinians that 20 Palestinians have been killed in Israeli airstrikes, including 9 children. What about the hunters that were killed in Israel? You know, what about when it was caught on video that the Palestinians were taking their children to the border and trying to get them killed so they would have their video to show that the Israelis are evil? What about, I don't know, indiscriminately bombing Israel just because they exist? This is the kind of things that the Palestinians have been doing for many years. You might want to do your research before you open your fucking dumpster. Okay? Oh. But, you know, what the report did not mention is that Israel claimed it had targeted and killed 11 Hamas fighters who had fired rockets at Israeli civilians. The Hamas attack was aimed at Jerusalem, where Palestinians have rioted in recent days in the instigation of Palestinian terror groups and political leaders. Earlier Monday, a Palestinian mob attempted to lynch an Israeli driver. You don't see anything on this, do you? None, nothing at all. Right, where do all these weapons come from? Well, that'd be Iran. Hamas buys their weapons from Iran. Everybody knows this. Apparently, our government doesn't, or at least these squad members don't. But they don't care about them because, you know, you figured after thousands of years Israel will be used to it, right? You know, the Jewish people should be used to being persecuted and nearly completely wiped out of existence on a regular basis because they're a different religion. And that's all it comes down to. That's it. And of course, the other idiot, Rashida Tlaib, who has an even more extreme views than Representative Omar, if you can believe that, about Israel, said Monday that the U.S. should not give billions of dollars in military aid to Israel because of its alleged racism and dehumanization. She said that. Oh, that was her trying to have a thought. Unbelievable. Two squad members not worth a pile of shit. And isn't there somebody that's supposed to control these two morons? Don't they have higher ups that are supposed to take care of them and tell them quite possibly not to be morons? It's not my job. Although I'll point it out constantly, it's just not my job to do so. I believe they have handlers for that. I don't know, Sean, what do you think? Or Brian? Or a guy who never talks to me anymore? He's in there somewhere. I mean, what do you think? Not only about the comments. I mean, I'll even reread them for you if you want. I mean, as soon as I read this on her own page, I actually look at, hey Jack, what's going on? I'm having a shitty day, radio wise, but hey, thanks for joining me. Like I said, I'll reread what Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, or whatever the fuck her name is, said. Ilhan Omar had said in a tweet, and I'd read this on her personal page and actually replied to it, so I'm surprised I'm not banned on Twitter yet. Israeli airstrikes killing civilians in Gaza is an act of terrorism. I'd have to respectfully remind her, too, that Israel doesn't necessarily fire anything on anybody unless they've been attacked first. So you may want to just look into that a little bit. And, of course, Rashid Tlaib, who had said we should stop giving money to Israel because of their racism and dehumanization. I wonder if she knows what good Israel has actually done for the world, especially us. I mean, with medical advancements and actually weaponry and several other things. And they have a right to exist peacefully, and it's never been peaceful for them. That's the reason why they have the Iron Dome. See, what you idiots don't remember is, or don't think about is, they're like, well, they got the Iron Dome and stuff like that. Well, yes, Ilhan Omar, they have the Iron Dome. Why do they have it? Because they have to. It wasn't something that like, hey, one day, we would just like to build a missile defense system because, well, it just might happen someday. No, they built it and designed it and implemented it because they were being fired upon incessantly. And it's no coincidence either that these attacks started, like I said, when the Biden, what did I call him? Earlier it was funnier than hell. I'm going to have to find that because I liked it. I think that's what I'm going to call him from now on. As soon as I find it, I liked it. It was pretty good. Yep. Nope. Ain't it. Ain't it. Still not it. Oh, I called him Colostomy Joe, the Dementia King. I thought that was pretty funny myself, but I'm on my own here. As you can tell, hold on a second, I'll show you. Chair's empty, yo. Yeah, hi. But that is the reason why they have it in the first place, because they were never able to be left alone. I mean, you would think that they would understand this, or at least look into it and get a slight grasp as to the situation in the Middle East, but they do not care because they hate Israel for being a different religion. And I'm going to stop repeating myself because I think I've done that enough. Oh, crap. And, of course, I'm not set up for a break. Imagine that. Nope, already played it. I'm not playing that. Okay, I see that in the chat. No, I'm not playing that. I've already played it. Or at least I did last week, and I don't like repeating myself, every week. So, just saying I'm not going to do it. Yeah, let's go out of our comfort zone. I'll be right back.
ass off. We say shit with our mask off. If it don't sound right, then we're down to fight, 'cause we ain't never been one to be passed off.
This is the home of the brave, but there's so many people full of greed. No more order 'cause we're busy being led on by the fact we can't control what we see. I'm stuck between tomorrow and next week, but it's right where I'm at, that's what's best for me. But as it stands, all the problems that we can't let be, it's why divided we fall in the land of the free.
I've rode bikes, I got scars, I've had fights, I've seen stars, I've got up, I've got down, I'm living my best life. I've seen the world crumble at the hands of a few. A whole lot of problems from my point of view. I'm trying to think positive, living my life, but the world keeps on promising struggle and strife. I'm lost in my hope and I'm broken inside, but this song is my freedom and battling cry.
This is the home of the brave, but there's so many people full of greed. No more order 'cause we're busy being led on by the fact we can't control what we see. I'm stuck between tomorrow and next week, but it's right where I'm at, that's what's best for me. But as it stands, all the problems that we can't let be, it's why divided we fall in the land of the free.
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say?
I didn't stutter. I said,
The Machine Radio Show.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show.
It's time for a random thought from the Machine Radio Show.
This is Brandon from the Machine Radio Show. Isn't it just so comforting to know that every single hand you have ever shaken has possibly had a dick in it?
This has been your random thought from the Machine Radio Show. Hey, there's a reason why we call it random thoughts, because they're random. But it actually kind of segues into something else I want to talk about. You know, like the CDC. The CDC is now changing their position constantly, almost daily, about what you should and shouldn't be doing, because instead of listening to actual, doctors and scientists and stuff like that, they were just issuing random shit. And now they said, well, if you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask inside. And, the week before, like, well, if you got your shot, you still got to wear a mask inside, but you don't have to outside. I'm like, motherfucker, I haven't worn one yet. Especially outside. Why the fuck would I wear a mask outside? I'm out there to get fresh air. There is no reason for me to wear a mask. By the way, usually when I talk to people, I don't stand this close to talk to them. Okay? I am usually at a reasonable distance because I don't have to stand on somebody's dick to talk to them. But anyhow, let's go back to the whole, like I said, they keep flip-flopping. It was literally like a little over a week ago where they said, well, guess what? You got the vaccination, so now you can take that mask off outside, but you still got to wear it inside. Now this week, like, oh, you're vaccinated? Oh, no, you don't have to wear a mask no more. You're good. You're okay. And then you got idiots like B-Rad and B-Rad, who said that they're probably, even though I'm vaccinated, I'm still probably going to wear a mask because I don't want people to think I'm a Republican. As if it's only Republicans that aren't wearing masks. And what I said to that earlier was actually nobody's going to confuse him for Republican or right wing or anything else like that, because he usually smells of weed and patchouli oil and ass. and dresses in the manner of a greasy hippie male prostitute. So nobody's going to confuse this. And by the way, all they have to do is listen to him and for about 30 seconds and get to see his demeanor a little bit, and they're probably going to make the assumption that he's definitely not on the right wing or a Republican or even intellectually, coherent. He's really not. My friend Mr. Tommy over there has had his interactions with that nutsack, and it's always entertaining. It really is. But and you watch these videos of Fauci and stuff like that. It's just like Fauci he doesn't have anything to say. I think he just likes being in front of the camera. I think he wants that face everywhere, and I think he just when he does talk, he says things just to get the attention. I don't think it's scientifically backed at all at this point. I think he's just a prima donna who thinks he's actually done something, and he's done more harm than good. I mean, this is the same idiot that, not long ago, well, you ought to wear 2 masks. One's not working, so we ought to wear 2, maybe 3. So what do you do? Just take the fucking bag and wrap it around your face, or, take the box and, take some duct tape and put it around your head. And is that how we're supposed to do it now? Or you can be like B-Rad and run around with a 3M gas mask. A particulate mask that really works. I mean, the one that you would use for spray paint or sandblasting. That's what he was wearing. He's too dumb to know that it has a fresh air thing on it. It is what it is. Some people just weren't born with any intelligence. Okay, speaking of intelligence, and like I said earlier about paying for terrorists, which is what the Biden administration or Obama 3.0 did when he gave the money to the Palestinians to the tune of $235 million. 1 month later, they decide to bomb shit. Now apparently we're paying more terrorists because the Colonial Pipeline reportedly had paid Russian hackers more than $4 million to restore the gas line after they'd shut it down. He said, "Be rad." Yes, I know. I saw that. I don't have it with me. That's the only reason why I didn't bring it up, man. The 2005 Fauci paper on bacterial pneumonia during Spanish flu. Yeah, I forgot to actually send that to myself for tonight's show, and then forgot to look it up. Like I said, bad night. Ugh. But anyhow, the Colonial Pipeline Company reportedly paid nearly $5 million to Eastern European hackers to restore its gas line. Bloomberg cited 2 anonymous sources familiar with the transaction who said that the company paid the ransom and cryptocurrency within hours of the attack, contradicting reports that stated the company was not likely to pay the extortion fee. A third person told the outlet that government officials are aware that the Georgia-based operator made the payment. This sets a dangerous precedent. Exactly, Brian. They will be back for more money, and that's why it sets a dangerous precedent. They are literally going to be like, "Oh yeah, we got $5 million this time, so now we want 50 or 100 or $500 million." This is why we don't negotiate with terrorists. Yeah, a lot of bad nights since the election. I know. I agree with that. But anyhow, when Colostomy Joe popped out of his shell. He was when he was asked about the ransom payment reports, he told reporters he had no comment. Well, he doesn't have a comment. He has no comments for anything, and there's a reason for that, because they are controlling him like a fucking puppet. Like they did Obama. Colonial operates the largest fuel pipeline in the United States, providing that roughly half of all diesel and gasoline on the East Coast, and became aware of the cyber attack last Friday, promptly shutting down its operations. Because of the shutdown, there was a shortage of fuel at many gas stations along the coast, and it started to walk its way to the Midwest. After hackers received the payment, they gave the operator a decrypting tool to restore the disabled online network. Yeah, they gave him a decrypting tool, which probably has another encryption in it to where they can come in at any time and shut it down again for more money. The Federal Bureau of Investigation said the hackers were linked to a group called DarkSide, which specializes in digital extortion and is believed to be located in Russia or Eastern Europe. Oh, we got a lot of crazy Russian hackers out there, apparently. These payments have been made to the terrorist billionaire businessman John Castamidis, told Fox Business. It says, I understand from my source that $4 million was paid. Actually, it was $5 million. The FBI discourages organizations from paying ransom to hackers because there is no guarantee they will unlock the victims' files, and provides incentives for future hackers. No shit. And now that it's all over the news... Yeah, over 15,000 gas stations without fuel. Yeah, a buddy of mine in the Carolinas was not really thrilled. Because he went to go fuel up his truck and there was nothing. Ugh. But it says, we recognize, though, that companies are often in a difficult position and their data is encrypted, and they do not have backups and cannot recover the data. That's why you have backups. Even the most mundane and small computer on Earth should have a backup. I actually have a couple. In fact, I'm in the process of cloning my drive again in case something happens to where I can just plug it into another one and keep on rocking. CEO and founder of digital forensics firm LifeArs and a former cyber expert at Lois Corp, Andre Crahall, said Colonial didn't have a choice. This is a cyber cancer. You want to die or you want to live. It's not a situation where you can wait. Actually, it is, because we do, in fact, employ hackers for this particular purpose. If they would have waited just a little bit, they probably could have been found. He added that a $5 million ransom was very low because ransom is usually around $25 to $35 million. Well, it will be now because you said that. Actually, it'd probably be 50 to 100. I think the threat actor realized they stepped on the wrong company and triggered a massive government response. Biden signed an executive order, another one. I wonder what number are we up to with executive orders? Does anybody know? I mean, it's more than I believe just about every president combined at this point. But Biden signed an executive order Wednesday to boost America's cyber defenses in response to the ransomware attack. I wonder how much of that little executive order is pointed towards us instead of where it should be. And, of course, yeah. This kind of crap will give you a migraine, won't it? And moving right along with the with terrorism stuff. Well, what is that, Tommy? Been hearing about gas station shortages in different towns during work travels. It's mostly actually towards the east, but there are places here in Illinois and even in like Indiana and I believe Ohio that have seen gas shortages, which reminds me to say something. Stop it. Do not go out there and hoard fucking gasoline like you did toilet paper, okay? Because all you're going to do is create a bigger problem with supply and demand. You're going to drive the prices up, and then people are really going to be out of gas. Use your head for something other than a hat rack. go ahead and fuel up your vehicle or a couple gas, a gas can, a 5-gallon gas can or something like that. Have a couple, maybe 2 gas cans. But they've got reports of people showing up with like 250-gallon water tanks and filling them up, or a truck bed full of 55-gallon drums and filling them up. Milk jugs. I've seen milk jugs. They were using milk jugs. Yeah, well, I believe Casey's base of operations is, in fact, towards the east, isn't it? I honestly, I'm going to look that up while we're talking. Let's see. No, they were started in Boone, Iowa. Well, they were started in Boone, Iowa, but that doesn't mean that they haven't. But I mean, I think their supplier is somewhere in the east, if I remember correctly. So somebody had one of the truckers had said, but I cannot actually say that's true. Yeah, I'm really glad I went ahead and filled up the turd bucket and filled up the gas can, which promptly went empty because I had to fill up the mower and the quad. But that's about all I'm going to get. I mean, I might go get another 5 gallons to have back for lawn mowing purposes and stuff like that. But like I said, don't be the idiot and don't go out there and start filling up everything and causing a panic, a worse panic than what we already have. It's just going to compound problems and make things a lot worse on people, especially the ones that work for a living. Not everybody gets unemployment for a living. But since we're in the interest of constant, we've talked about terrorism several times now with Hamas and the Palestinians, and now this this hacker, digital terrorism, the hacker attack. Antifa has popped their heads out, and I guess not long ago had issued about 2 weeks ago, issued a veiled death threat against Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler. I'm kind of ready for that, though. I can build some pretty messed up stuff out of random parts, so Mad Max would be right up my alley. Anyhow, a person purporting to represent Antifa has reportedly targeted Portland, Oregon Mayor Ted Wheeler after he issued a plea for the community to assist in unmasking rioters and members of Antifa. Well, there's a reason for that, because in Portland they are running amok, burning everything down, making fucking chops and whatever the fuck they want, chazzes and whatever the fuck they want to call it, autonomous zones, and just being general douchebags. But remember, they are just an idea, according to Biden. They're just an idea. They're not an organization at all. Excuse me. A person purporting to represent Antifa threatened Wheeler in a video shared Wednesday night. In the video, a masked person threatens the Democratic mayor and even goes as far as publish Wheeler's home address. The person concluded, Ted, we are asking for this last time that you resign. If you ignore this message outright, the destruction to your precious way of life is going to escalate. Blood is already on your hands, Ted. The next time it may be your own. Well, if they find that's a terroristic, find that piece of shit, that's a terroristic threat, and I think we should go back to the old days when people made terroristic threats and just take them outside the courthouse and fucking hang them. I'm sorry to say it that way, but I believe that's, unfortunately something that should be done because we're tired of fucking with them. But then again, you'd make him a martyr, so that'd be useless too. Excuse me. On Thursday afternoon, the the Oregonian reported that police are investigating the video. Jim Middaugh, a spokesman for the mayor, said that he and his office learned of the video Wednesday evening. I'm sure that they kind of probably giggled a little bit about that. Of course nothing will happen because, remember, they're an idea. Why would we do anything about it? I get what you're saying, though. Oy, oy, oy. Wrong button. It says his comments are inappropriate, irresponsible, and dangerous. A spokesman for the group said after more than 4 years as police commissioner, Ted Wheeler must finally recognize the role that unchecked police violence has in escalating tension in Portland. Yeah, it's not the police that are burning down buildings, setting up chop zones, like I said, and raping and killing people. That would be Antifa. This is stupid that somebody would say that. Not surprising, but inherently stupid. I don't know. What do you guys think? I know, Jack, you said nothing will happen, but what do you think? Okay, that's weird. I'm still having glitches. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to deal with it a little bit at a time. Can't find it. Okay, I get it. You know, your messages are not coming through on our hosting program. I understand that. Quit blowing up my Facebook. Jesus. And my Twitter. Stop blowing up my Twitter, please. I don't have Matt here today, so I don't have somebody looking at other things. I can't, read everything all at once. I try. I really do. I try to be fair to you guys and talk to you all, but it's just not working that way. Okay, yeah, I understand that. I know what you're saying. But unfortunately, nobody's going to do anything about Antifa as long as the Democrats are in office. I'm going to be honest with you there. They're just going to be able to do whatever the hell they want, whenever they want. Okay, let's see here. Yes, I just answered you. Just wait a second. There's a delay. All right. Anyhow, I'm going to be right back to the person that's talking constantly. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. So I will address what you're saying when I get back, and we got a few other things I want to get to.
Hey lefties, liberals, and progressives. This is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wild. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm going to need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do.
Well, technically, it's everything I want to do because Matt is not here tonight, as you can tell. If I pushed a little button, the chair is empty, so it's just me. We'll go back to me. Not that I want you guys to see me. I mean, there's a reason why I'm on radio. It's because I have a face for it. Just, putting it out there, being honest. Anyhow, there was something I forgot to mention while we were talking about the whole COVID's masky thingy. And that would be, and I had to write it down because I was trying to remember it, the University of Massachusetts Amherst. They suspended 3 students for a full year for not wearing a mask outside. That's $16,000 that they kept per student, by the way, and shut them down for a year. That is a bit on the draconian side of things, is it not? And from what I understand, there actually is a class action lawsuit pending. And I hope that the parents of these students win and win big. And I hope the students get some sort of payout from it too. Because you're fucking with their education. You keep telling them, well, everybody needs a higher education. And you go all fruit and shut them down for not wearing a mask outdoors. Outdoors. It doesn't travel outdoors. Even the CDC, who flip-flops constantly, has said that before, that it doesn't travel outdoors. Yeah. But when I saw that news breaking, I was like, are you serious? Nothing actually shocks me anymore, so I really can't say, are you serious? I really can't. But, I was honestly like, this can't be real. And just like that, what I thought couldn't possibly be real is a Twitter-verified writer has said that she hopes Elon Musk burns alive after insisting he flashed a white power symbol during his SNL appearance. Okay, here's something crazy. They had Elon Musk as a host, okay, during his SNL appearance, and they had the biggest numbers they've had in a shit long time, a very, 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 very long time. The highest numbers that they've had, and apparently during a skit, he did this, which to normal people who aren't the wokey woke is the okay, okay thing. It's not the, they think that, when you do this, this is 3 for this, and then, and then the white's powers, it's a W's, so it's the white's powers. No, it literally just means okay, you fucking morons. Fucking woke people are stupid. But anyhow, Daisy Behringer, a self-proclaimed freelance editor. That's where we go horribly awry. Self-proclaimed freelance editor. I am kind of one of those myself, but not in the aspect of I write a bunch of stupid shit and hope people read it. that's not my style. I would rather write something that's actually meaningful or record something meaningful than to do that. But anyhow, the self-proclaimed freelance editor and writer who is verified on Twitter said she hoped Tesla CEO Elon Musk would burn to death in one of his Teslas after she insisted he flashed a white power hand sign. And this is what she said. Wait, did Elon Musk just like aggressively flash the white power sign during the weekend update? Please tell me I'm insane. No, really. Going to need you to tell me I'm insane. Well, you are in fact insane. You're clinically insane. You are fucking stupid. The fact that you made it to adulthood is impressive when you have to remind yourself to breathe in and breathe out. That's how stupid you are. But when you say, white power, yeah, I'm sure he went on SNL, looked right at the guy next to him who is a black comedian and goes, "Yay, white power." That's not what he fucking did, you moron. And she said, "Listen, usually when I say I hope someone dies in a fire, I'm being hyperbolic. But like Teslas do burn for 4 hours straight, so like I'm not going to be mad about it. I kept watching because I really hoped one of the cast members was going to walk in front of the stage at closing and punch him out for flashing okay." Ay. I know. I said that to somebody, and it actually shut them down for a few seconds. They just stared at me like, "Wait, what did you say?" Cheryl says, "Does that mean Buckwheat in Little Rascals was a racist since he did the okay sign all the time?" Right. But just like anything else, it just happens to be now that they say everything is racist. So therefore, any hand gesture, anything like that is suddenly a racist problem. Anyhow, let's go back to this. Behringer also insisted that Musk was not just ignorantly flashing the OK sign. He was intentionally promoting white supremacy during the appearance and called out people on social media who were reportedly defending him. Super shocking that the white supremacists are searching Twitter to correct people about the never been more obvious Elon Musk white power sign. It's like, I just want to roll my eyes, but that's the last thing to do with Nazis. Good Lord, somebody get this woman a history book. Oh my God, the people excusing Elon Musk saying it's the OK symbol, Behringer added. Wow. I guess they never learned about context. Why would he be saying OK at all, much less forwards and backwards? What the fuck? What kind of drug-induced... I bet her family tree is a fucking straight line because all the intelligence ran down the fucking base. Yeah. I can't. Well, I can believe I'm reading this because everything, including milk, is now and buying meat is a symbol of white supremacy. So everything must be. Yes, Dan. People are so stupid. They're insanely stupid. And the worst part is like this dumb. I'm sorry to say it like that. I'm gonna say it another way.
One crazy ass bitch.
Like that. Thinks this is a normal, okay thing to do. Oh, I said okay. I must have meant white supremacists instead of okay. Cool. What is this world coming to? I mean, seriously, where's the fucking asteroid that was supposed to hit us? I mean, it's been a good run. And speaking of that, I mean, even Dave Chappelle has popped out. Dave Chappelle, you know, he went after the woke culture, angry over Elon Musk hosting SNL. He said no one can be woke enough. According to this article, it says, while it was not immediately clear why some SNL writers and cast members did not want Musk on the show, Page Six reported that NBC executives would not force triggered cast members to appear alongside Musk, giving them a safe space. Oh no, the guy that's making a shit ton of money trying to do exactly what you guys want, which is either turn us back to the Stone Age or make us all run fucking mobility scooters for the rest of our lives. You have a problem with him showing up on SNL. That is beautiful. Speaking historically, if a cast member has been that unhappy, they don't have to do it, a source told Page Six. SNL won't ever make them do anything they don't want to do. Yeah, you kind of have. But Chappelle, let's go with Chappelle. Speaking with Joe Rogan about the cast outrage over Musk, the legendary comedian said no one can be woke enough. He said, I'm torn because I like a warrior for a good cause, but I'm really into tactics. You're not going to nag people into behaving in a way. In fact, if you continue with this tone, even if you're right, you'll be very hard to hear. Rogan agreed and said no one is woke enough. Both Chappelle and Rogan expressed confusion over why the SNL cast was upset about Musk, suggesting it was because he is the world's richest man or that he analyzed the COVID-19 pandemic from a factual, not emotional perspective. And he actually did. Yeah, especially be funny. The show sucks. I know. Actually, I watched this SNL skit. This is the first time I watched SNL in, I don't know, fucking 20 years. I had to because it was Elon Musk. I'm like, this guy's usually not funny, so let's see what happens. But Rogan theorized the real problem with woke culture is intolerance. You fucking think there. He says, I think people that are complaining that he's going to be on Saturday Night Live, I think what's going on now is they want someone to be 100% compliant to whatever ideology they're part of. And any deviation from that is problematic. And I agree 100% with Joe Rogan. That is the problem, is everybody thinks their feelings are more important than facts. And so therefore we should cater to just them and them alone and to what they feel. I feel a lot of things. I feel insulted that Justin Bieber is still running around. I feel insulted that people think that, a female singer, I can't think of her name. Probably because I didn't want to commit it to memory. It'll come to me here in a minute. Shit. One moment. I'll find her. Billie Eilish. I'm sorry that Billie Eilish has absolutely zero talent. I'm saying that from perspective that I actually had to suffer through watching more than 8 songs when she was performing live. And this is what she did. It was just a whisper fest all night long. There was really no lyrical, there was really nothing to it. It was just her whispering. And I was like, this is... At first I thought, I was like, okay, she played 2 slow songs in a row, and then it became 3 and then 4 and then 5 and then 6. And I'm like, that's how she sings? Who the fuck signed this girl? She has no talent. Sorry. I had to say it. Well, somebody has to, because that woman's music is ass. This is our lives now. The wokety wokes, the super woke culture is the lunatics running the asylum now. And we're along for the ride. the people that can think objectively, apparently like Elon Musk, are not allowed to do so. We are just to jump on the bandwagon, kind of like the little bastards that went into the cafes and stuff like that and harassed restaurant goers and tell them that if they don't put up the black power sign, the baby's arm holding an apple looks like a dick. If they're not holding that up, then they're racist, and you force it, literally getting in their faces and be like, do it, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it now, you're gonna do it now, and then stealing their food or knocking over their food or drinking their beer or whatever fucking else that they decide to do. I watched a couple of those personally. That one of them especially was a kid couldn't have weighed 135 pounds, wasn't wearing boots, and was probably about 5'11". I mean, he was just absolutely skinny. So he was, cock height when he walked up and started harassing them. I would have just punched him right in the fucking junk and buckled him. I'm going to be honest with you. That's the problem nowadays is they don't realize that you're going to push somebody too far and they're going to fuck your ass up. Just saying. Oh, low blow there, Jack, but I agree with you. Remember, the tagline to the show is not your daddy's conservative talk radio, which means not necessarily conservative. We just love putting the conservative word in there because it pisses people off, and then they don't think, to read the rest of the words and understand it in, the form of English language. But Jack says this is the result of conservative politicians taking compromises and not actually conserving anything. I cannot argue with that because that is true. Which one in Kentucky, Cheryl? You're going to have to clue me in on that one. I'm sorry. For the last couple of weeks, I've been busy having brain fog from a massive infection and stuff like that, which is, the reason why I talk like a hillbilly now. Just being truthful if I have to be. I'm one of the...
You fucking ho dunk, po dunk, well then there, motherfuckers!
That's me. I know there's a delay, and I'm holding back. I'm waiting. But no, Jack, let's touch down on what you said, though. Like, I'm going to repeat it again. This is the result of conservative politicians taking compromises and not actually conserving anything. We had said this over and over again. That is the problem is, it used to be, you crossed over the aisle to get things, it might have been a compromise of sorts, but it was not an extreme one. Nowadays, in order to keep their phony baloney jobs or whatever else, they will just get their get-along to go-alongs. We have a couple of those here in town. I will not say one of their names on air, to be honest with you. All right, Jack, let me read what you said here. Right. He says, look at any protest with conservatives and right-wingers and then Antifa people intervene and harass, vandalize, and assault. And when the people fight back, the police that I respect, but don't blindly. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, we're staunch supporters of the Thin Blue Line. We do love our, guys in uniform, the police, wherever else, some of the agencies, whatever. But we are not, we don't blindly follow them, and we never will. That's just not going to happen. And there's a reason for that. Yeah, they'll arrest the right-wingers who fight back. We've actually seen that, and we've seen that not too long ago, where the Butt Love crew, BLM or whatever the fuck, the terrorist organization. I hurt people's feelings with that comment. I know I did, and I don't care. I'm not here for your feelings. that particular crew was illegally blocking a roadway, and the guy got tired of it and got out of his vehicle and told him to fucking move. And then one of them pulled a gun on him, and the gunman was not arrested, but the guy who got out of his vehicle and said, "Get the fuck out of the road," was. So they sided with the terrorist organization to allow them to block an intersection illegally, which they knew was illegal, the police, and in order to save face, picked up the guy who was in the right. I'm sorry, but if you block the roadway, you're going to be meat waffles. You're going to be in the way, especially the ones that like to attack vehicles. Sorry about your luck, but if you come up and endanger my life or the people behind me or people in my vehicle or anything else like that, I have no issue turning you into meat waffles, because at that point you are a threat, and I'm legally allowed to not only defend myself but to flee the scene into safety. You might want to look that law up. Oh, yes, that, okay, I was wondering which one you were talking about, Cheryl. She says, where Black Lives Matter showed up at a restaurant and the patron pulled a gun out. Yes, I saw that. Well, don't be dickheads, and you won't have that problem. And, I'm going to have to say, Jack, though, that's not all police. That's not all police. Not all police are going to arrest the, like you said, the right winger that fights back. That's not absolutely 100% true, but in the area where this particular incident happened, yeah, that's kind of the norm. That's a normality. I'm trying to see. There was something else I wanted to talk about too. Oh, what a crappy day. Okay, I had something else I wanted to talk about. I'm looking. Yeah, she won that. She won that round. She's right. The waitress who was a black woman. She was screaming at them to get the hell out of there. I hate it when this thing does this. Seriously, you're pissing me off. Not you guys, the damn system. Anyhow, and there was another one I want to bring up actually with the president. He says the rule. It's the rule. The rule is now simple: get vaccinated or wear a mask until you do. The choice is yours. Yeah, you're right. The choice is mine. In which case, I don't wear one. And that's when I called him Colostomy Joe, the Dementia King. Jack says, I have no problem with normal police, but big city ones are corrupt and not your friend. Not all by... They will follow whoever is giving them their paycheck. You have a percentage of those, that's absolutely for certain, but there are quite a few good ones, even in big cities. I got a couple buddies of mine that are in some major metropolitan areas that won't fuck around with this kind of thing. One of them, in fact, has told me that he won't, I can't say his name or where he's at, because, it's for obvious reasons, but he literally said that if an incident like that happened in front of him, he would more than likely end up losing his job because he would arrest them on the spot for blocking the roadway and endangering civilians. He doesn't give a shit. He would not have arrested that man. Me and him had this conversation. Not necessarily, Cheryl. He says, she says, she's talking to Jack. She says, doesn't everyone do what their boss says for a paycheck? Not necessarily. There's a lot of lazy people out there. But at the same time, I try to fire myself once or twice a week. It just doesn't work. It never sticks. For some reason, I keep showing back up to work. Them pesky bills, No, Jack, it doesn't make it right. I can agree with you on that either. It does not make it right. And that's the sad thing is we had enough of them take a stand and say we are not going to deal with this. We are not going to be your puppets. We are here to enforce the law, not to be your puppet. Then we'd be better off. But unfortunately, right now, there's not enough of them standing up to do this. Oy. Oh. Jack says that is the problem with greed. It caused immorality. Yes and no. I understand where you're coming from with that, absolutely. But some people still stand by their morals no matter what. You're talking to one of them. I have my own morals, my own convictions, and I will stand by them until the day I die. There is nothing that they can do to sway me from that. See, there was something else I wanted to bring up, and I lost it. So we might actually be done because I can't find half of what I'm looking for. Oh, live radio. Yeehaw. Yeah, I do believe that might be the end of it because I don't have anything else left in queue. Oh, for crying out loud, computer. Stop it. No need. Okay. Well, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before I say I'm going to go ahead and end it? Because I actually don't have anything left in queue, which is odd. Usually I have so much stuff that I can't never get to all of it. Well, apparently I am out of things. I know, delay, so I'm waiting. I don't even know how long the delay is anymore. For some reason, it keeps changing. Okay, so I guess we're done because I can't find anything else. He lipped off one too many times, and I kicked him down the stairs. Buffalo Bill's down there with him right now. No, Matt had something else to do tonight. He had to take care of something, so he couldn't come tonight. And like I said, I apparently did not send half the stuff I want to talk about to myself tonight from the other computer. So unless you guys have something else you want to talk about, I am pretty much going to end the show tonight. And I'll wait a few more seconds because of the delay. I'll be nice. Okay, so I guess that's it. Well, thanks for all you guys to listen to me by myself and through the entire shit show that was what the hell. Hey, Jack, let's do a test and find out how long my delay is. Why would that be ironic? Kids need an education. I don't understand why you're trying to say that. He says right-wingers fighting for their children to go back to public school is ironic. Please explain. All right. Since we're going to do the test, Jack, I'm gonna actually type it. When I say test, how are we going to do this, Jack? How are we going to do this? How about I just say the word test and then wait for you to respond? I'll type that out. Okay, so we're on the same page. All right. Test. So at least 20 seconds. Anywhere from 15 to 20 seconds is approximately where our delay is. Okay, that's good to know. At least that gives me a baseline on when I say things. If I wait for you guys when it's going to kick in. I appreciate that. Now let's go back to your comment. What do you mean right-wingers fighting for their children to go back to public school is ironic? I know several that have their kids in private school as well, but their kids still need to get an education. Even if they have to be re-educated when they get home because the education system is now brainwashing your children. And I'm waiting my time here. Okay, I think the delay is a lot. There we go. Yeah, it's longer than what we thought. It's ironic because, from my understanding, right-wingers I know are against the federal government brainwashing them. You're right. This is true, but they still have to get some sort of education. I get what you're saying. Of course, that's why a lot of my friends had their kids in private school. But alrighty, I guess I'm going to go ahead and end the show because I can't keep, it's only more indoctrination if you're not paying attention. How's that? Because I know some that have their kids in public school that are pretty good about catching the shit. They're taught almost as much at home as if they're not at school. But anyhow, I am going to go ahead and end the show for the night because it's really been a fucking train wreck. Sometimes that does happen. Yeah, but most of them figure out real quick that their parents aren't the bad guys. Just saying. Anyhow, join us again next week, Jack, because I think we can have some interesting conversations, especially one that's not led into an almost 2-hour-long train wreck. How's that? But I will see you guys later. I'll be back next week. Much to the left's dismay, I will return. See you guys later.
Do you understand?